Now that Season 3's finally here, Valve released a pretty nice update that includes the removal of Anubis and reintroduction of Overpass. Along with this, we've got some great changes to weapon balance and CT economy. The CT's incendiary grenade now spreads faster to rapidly counter rushing Ts. Even better, the MP9 has finally been nerfed, making spray control harder and jumping accuracy substantially decreased, although it still seems pretty strong. The CT economy also received a buff. Win or loss, CTs receive a shared team award for each T eliminated in the round, so the more you win and the closer you keep your losses, the more money you'll have in the bank. So naturally, it's time to refresh our essential smokes for CS2 Overpass. But before we get started, I do want to thank today's sponsor, SkinsMonkey. For those of you that don't know, SkinsMonkey is an automated CS2 trading site that allows you to select the old skins you don't want anymore and pick out some new ones from the monkey. It's a great way to freshen up that old dusty inventory, and hey, that's not all. They have some amazing filter and selection features, as well as 24/7 live support. If you click the link in the description, you can get a free $5 and a 30% deposit bonus that becomes 35% if you use my code TACTICS on the site. Don't miss out on this offer and check out SkinsMonkey today. Let's get back into the video. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with our A-side essentials. So from this corner right here, if you get stuck into the bench, you're going to do a simple jump throw at this divot in the umbrella for a perfect bank smoke. From the top right of this vent all the way up to the top of the roof, another simple jump throw, and you have a nice dumpster smoke. Notice how this bank smoke will eventually fill in to completely take care of this angle behind the truck, and this smoke is going to take care of all of dumpster. Notice how there's nothing this guy can see at all. But hey, as weird as this lineup looks, smoking dumpster from here alongside divider, where you go in between these two dots on the wall and do a simple jump throw, is a great idea, and I'll show you why here in just a second. Notice how this completely smokes it off, but the best part about it, when you have teammates up in front ready to go, you can do a simple Molotov by doing a jump throw just below this crack, and then also you can throw flashes at this position here for nice deep team safe flashes while completely mollying out this region here of the truck. These flashes are going to blind every single relevant position on site, while it's not going to touch your teammates at all as they're moving up until they get all the way past here. Or hey, if you're out long, you can get stuck into this corner right here and do a simple jump throw at the top right of this pillar. That is also going to be a perfect dumpster smoke to completely block off this entire position. Now, if you also want to smoke bank from this position, it's a little tricky, but you can find these two similar looking rocks, and you're going to go down to the left of them into this gap and do a nice simple jump throw. I realize that's a little bit difficult to see at first, but after you throw it a couple of times, it actually gets quite easy. Notice how this thing is going to completely fill in to smoke off all of bank. Flipping over to CT, it's probably a good idea to hold onto your smoke until the late round so you can deploy it defensively in the event of an execute. However, towards the end of Overpass's life cycle at the beginning of CS2, a lot of pro teams were going here at the beginning of the round alongside divider and doing a nice simple jump throw at this plus right here in the wall. That thing would go, bounce off of this pillar here, and completely smoke off T-spawn from Fountain, where you could go up here and get aggressive, take control of party without having to worry about getting traded from anyone coming up out of here. Now that was always best paired whenever someone would throw a molly like this and then back up and then throw this smoke and have their teammates go up and take control. You could throw some supportive flashes, but what we've done is throw a molly that completely separates anyone from being able to push on into party, giving you a ton of early map control. And hey, to wrap up CT, it's probably a good idea at the beginning of the round to go into this corner, crouch down, and do a crouching jump throw at the end of this wire. That's going to end up flying all the way down here. It's going to bank off the railroad track, and it's going to end up landing right here at the very entrance of this monster area, completely smoking off any of the aggressive Ts at the beginning of the round. Alright, so let's kick off B side with a nice and fast heaven smoke. If you go right here alongside this pillar, you're going to aim just below the top right of this plank, somewhere around here, and you're going to do a run jump throw before you pass that shadow. So altogether, it's going to look something like this. That smoke's going to go all the way up under the bridge, take a nice little bounce, and be a perfect deep smoke for heaven. As you can see here, if we go check this thing out, it is going to completely smoke off all the way up to the doors. But hey, if you're not just rushing B, it's probably better to go right here into this corner, aim out to the right of this billboard, just to the right of this pole, and do a simple left click throw. That thing's going to go up into heaven no problem at all and completely smoke it out. Or hey, one of my personal favorite ways to do it, if you're rotating through connector, you can get stuck right here, aim towards the bottom of this wood right alongside the billboard, and do a simple left click throw. That's going to land pretty much the exact same way and completely smoke off heaven. And hey, from that exact same position, you can go down from this support beam onto the fence and do a simple jump throw, and that's going to bank off of this fence here, and it's going to completely smoke off the left side, allowing you to take angles in different fights onto site. If you pair that up with the heaven smoke, you're going to have a super easy way to just kind of incrementally clear out most of these positions here on site without having to worry about too many angles all at once. And of course, you could always wing that just by aiming here at one of these wooden posts and doing a nice run throw. The harder you throw it and the deeper it goes, the better. You don't want it to be too lurky. Of course, again, if you're pairing it with that heaven smoke, you're going to be in pretty good shape on your way out here if you pair that with a couple of flashes. And hey, you could also throw that exact same smoke by going right here in front of this barrel, crouching, aiming up from this line, and left clicking right here. And if you throw that exact same lineup from the other side of the barrel, that's going to end up being a mid-sight smoke, which in CS2, admittedly, it's a little bit worse than it was in CSGO. But overall, it's kind of cool to have a smoke wall. You've still just got to watch out for heaven. But I do enjoy throwing this from time to time just to spice things up. Although it's probably a better idea to just throw this and then throw that instant heaven smoke if you're going to do a fast-paced play. All right, now let's finish up with some T-side mid-smoke. So if you go right here alongside this pole, you can do a jump throw at the top left of this white sign, and that's going to fly all the way up and completely smoke off all of bathrooms. If you're getting punished by someone here on Divider a lot, this is an essential to throw on T-side, especially if your teammates just like dry peeking the op. This might save their life a few times. Now, one thing that's kind of interesting, if you have that same lineup but a little further to the right, so for example, let's say we end up throwing, maybe on the right side of this caution sign, that is actually going to fly all the way down into the left side, the long side of bathrooms. So if you're wanting to take early bathrooms control, that's also a really good smoke to have up to just not have to worry about any of these crossfires towards long. Or hey, from that exact same position, you can do a simple jump throw at the top of this railing and just completely smoke off that Divider player and never have to worry about him again. That's just going to land right here. It's going to fill in to completely smoke off this entire region, giving you a ton of space to work with. Alright guys, so that just about completes what I consider to be the essential smokes for CS2 Overpass. If you think I missed something or want to submit your own lineups, feel free to join my Discord. I'm going to be making a lot more content on Overpass in the next couple of weeks, so I'd love to include some of your stuff in there as well. Now, before I go, I do want to thank my amazing channel members on screen right now, and I also want to announce that I've opened up a lower tier channel member subscription where it's only 99 cents. So if you want to support me and get access to some community 10-mans and all of that fun stuff, go ahead and check that out. Join the Discord and ask me about it if you'd like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.